I'm trying to think of someone who's beautiful, a beautiful and perfect character in your book, and I can't think of that person.
Yeah.
I like that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. And I think
they would be a pain.
Well, it's just boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. I think, for me, one of the reasons I read is to figure things out about myself and about the world. I don't know how I really feel about something until I write about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people read for the same reason.
Yeah.
I think they wanna bring light to something in their lives that can't be brought in any other way. And it's a magical thing that reading does that way. The way it brings, you're reading about a person or a situation and something else comes up inside you that you might not have remembered for years, or you might not have thought about, or might not have admitted to in yourself, but there it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's valuable.
If we switch to friendship and talk a little bit about that, you know, it seems that a lot of your protagonists have this like out there kind of friend, which is so much fun. Like Katie Nash in Durable Goods has Cheryl Ann.
Yes.
And yes. Oh, I love Cheryl Ann. I love LD from Talk Before Sleep, you know, who's just this completely out there, I understand, fabricated character. Or Jasmine, totally, or Lorraine. Jasmine from What We Keep, or Lorraine from The Year of Pleasures, you know, really just kind of out there. You know, it's said in couples that opposites attract. Do you think that's true in women's friendships as well?
Yeah, I do think so, but I think you have to have a lot of similarities too. At least I do. My best friends, I have a lot in common with, but I have some outrageous friends, and mostly I adore women and men who will say it, just say it. You know, that there's no pretense, that you really offer each other truth. Of a rarefied kind. That's what's most important to me, and that's what I have with my friends. I know I can call, there are two women with whom I'm extremely close, and I know I can call either one of them and say anything, anything, and they will still accept me. And in fact, will probably say, oh, I know, me too.
Yeah. You know, that kind of authenticity, though, is not something you see often. And what a gift that, you know, that you would have that in your own life, but also that you can bring that to the page.
Absolutely. I depend on my friends in many ways, large and small. Yeah.
If we talk about faith, if you were to maybe complete this statement, I want my readers to have faith in what when they read your books?
The fact that despite living in a painful and often dark world, the good always supersedes the bad, that it's always worth it. It's always a struggle to be alive on the planet, but it's always worth it. And I think that that's a theme that comes up again and again and again in my books.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, even like the moment, you know, even if your best friend is dying, for instance, in Talk Before Sleep, your best friend is dying, and there's so much beauty and faith to be found in that, you know, we get to enjoy that time there.
That's why that book was written, yeah, because I never intended to write about that when it was happening. But when it was over, I saw that the beauty of everything that happened far outweighed the despair that any of us might have felt at any time, including her. And that she remained a funny person. And an outrageous person, and an engaged person, and a passionate person. Here's an example of what that person was like. At her funeral, I told her before she died that I was going to write something to be read at her funeral, and I let her read it because I thought she should read it. She decided that she too was going to write something to be read at her own funeral. So here's how it began. This was said, of course, by the minister to a large group of people who had gathered there. Her letter said, "Well, I guess you're as surprised to be here as I am."
Are you serious? That's how it started?
Yeah. Oh. So, yeah, she was she was an extraordinary person, and that's what I wanted to do in Talk Before Sleep, is celebrate the worth and the salvation of women's friendships, and also to sound the alarm about how little is being done about breast cancer.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to write a polemic, but I wanted to call attention to that, and in a different way. I wanted someone to read that book and love that character and feel bad that she died, and think, this was a real person who inspired this book, who was lost to breast cancer, and so many women are dying from breast cancer every day. So what's being done about this?
Right.